And we are live. Host Will Massa to my right, as always, Jake Sawinski. How are we doing, buddy?
Good. Baseball's been a little frustrating for me this afternoon, but that's about it. Like I don't really have any other complaints. Like just trucking along.
I I've been having a really good stretch, like the last two and a half, the last 3 weeks. I'm finally positive in MLB while being I'm 6 games over 500 now, and I just broke into the green. But I'm starting to find it a little bit better. It's just last year was so horrendous that this year I'm really easing into it and going one maybe two plays a day, and if I don't like something I just stay away from the whole board. So it's working out pretty well. The first 3 weeks of the season was miserable for me, or the first 2 weeks, so it's been an uphill climb, but finding the stride a little bit. You're muted.
I don't even know where I left off, but I kind of had the same experience as you did. I think like last year I was up like 15 units or so in baseball, and then like I was down like 12 ish at one point, but like I bet so much more than you do, like volume
Yeah.
wise, that like once I get hot, I really, crank it up. So I'm up like 15, 17 right now. I'm counting the Tigers lost, and I'm assuming the Red Sox are going to do the same by the time we're done. So I'll say I'm up 15 units for now, but I've only got a couple more weeks to be an asshole until I have to, stop because it's gonna. I'm trying to like just not overdo it, because like why lose bet after bet after bet and bet after bet after bet in June for no reason. Like I'll be doing what you do in about a month. So
It's yeah, I'm kind of dreading it because the same thing, even though we bet drastically different, the same exact thing happened to me, but 3 weeks later. Like my big collapse happened in July last year. Like I was kind of hanging around even money for most of the season, and then I hit July, and July was just the catastrophic meltdown. I didn't
yeah.
hit a single bet, and it was just miserable.
And I mean, us betting two different ways, we kind of talk about it a lot, right? Like we have to find that middle ground. And I feel like a lot of the times, like you only are in the know about what's going on in the game, right? And then someone like me is only looking at splits and numbers and things like that. This year, I feel like my success so far has been because I've been very in tune with what's going on in the last, this series. Like I've noticed I struggle the most, or my best days aren't on like, depending on like where they're at in the series, like Monday, Tuesday, excuse me, or Thursday, Friday are typically my weaker days, just because like Tuesday, Wednesday, and sometimes Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, it's easier because I've already got some context onto what like happened the previous game, right? Like trying to think of a good example. It just happened the other day too. Well, I bet an under yesterday. It wasn't the Mets one, but it was the other one. Oh, the Pirates one. It was like an under 8. I got it at 8. I have seen some people at 8.5, but like it's an easy example when you've got the game before was 10-9, and then it's over under 8. That's pretty indicative, and it's a lot easier to spot that when you saw it the day before. You know what I mean? Like taking that clean start on a new series, sometimes it's not as obvious to tell, and it's early yet too, because one of the easiest ways to tell is look at an ERA of each. If you have like a two starters that's ERAs are 6 and 5 each, right, and the over under 7, that's kind of telling. But right now it's tough to do because ERAs are typically inflated early, anyways. I'm not sure why I'm frozen. I'm just stuck in this. I'm just stuck in this mid word thought here.
That's
Yeah, dude, my computer's ass. It's so bad. I'm so sick of this computer. But I like also don't want to spend like $1,200 on a new computer yet. I just don't have the heart to do it yet, even though I need to. I need to so bad. But
you wage war on Tim Apple like
yeah, I know it's so bad. The sound works though, right? Like there's no issues when the
Yeah,
sound
no,
with the
it's
sound when that
clean.
happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I just continue talking like it's not frozen as I just
Ignore
don't
it.
move. I just look away for a second. Yeah. Yeah, but baseball is so incredibly frustrating and you just got to like take your lumps when you get them, but be smart about taking the lumps, right? It's almost like a boxing match, right? Like why stand in the ring and get your head punched in if you could put your hands up and defend yourself? But then if he's on the ropes, you whack him and you keep hitting him, you know? It's like when you're betting well, let it rip. As soon as day or two of struggling, scale back. Baseball's it's not random, but it's seemingly random when it comes to a betting standpoint.
Yeah. We talked pre-show. I'm on the Pirates run line today and the Nats money line.
That's tough.
And I'm kind of terrified about I think neither of these bets are going to be close. I just don't know what direction.
Yeah, is it going to be a loser early or is it going to be a winner early?
And it's going to be super telling.
Now the Pirates on the run line does make a lot of sense, like to me, anyways, because like how bad have they been?
They've
They've
really
lost
bad,
what,
and they lost yesterday.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, I bet the under. I was like debating on doing like a twofer, like doing a Rockies and the under, but I was just like, there's no reason to, bet two things in that piss game. So I just took the under. It was pretty easy. I think it was 3-2, not a problem.
Yeah.
But it's a big number for the Pirates today, right?
It's a huge number.
Yeah, you get like a -200 or -210 on a team that's been so bad as of. I mean, they got swept by Oakland, then play a great series the week before. The May-June Pirates are here, that's for sure. They suck. They suck bad. But the Nats, like we talked about that one a little bit before, like they're so. The Blue Jays are horrible. And like when we did our call of the pen last week or the week before, I don't quite remember exactly when it was. Time like stops, but they're in the same boat. Like they're just a really bad baseball team. They don't hit, they don't pitch, and they never put the two together. Like there's just no other way to say it. So it's like as a contrarian better, you're looking at teams that the public typically doesn't like and trying to pick spots. They're just like every time I bet anything in that game, like anything in a Blue Jays game, it just doesn't work. I think last Saturday I hit the under when they played the Dodgers, but I also bet them, and like they are just immediately losing every time I bet on them. So it's just like that team's fucking dead to me.
I have no idea what's going to happen in that game, especially after yesterday.
Yeah, it's like they were 3-4 and like it's close, and then all of a sudden they like lose 3-9, or they're winning 3-1 and they lose 3-9. Like you just don't know what to expect out of them. I'm gonna do like a blog on like teams that piss me off like through April. Might be a good read. I might swear in it.
Blue Jays.
If you like swear words, yeah. Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, the Cardinals
the
are going to be
for me. The Reds have.
No, I don't bet them.
Frustrating
I know. I don't bet them very much though.
Oh my god, that team is
fading the Orioles. Unless it's a total, I can do totals with the Orioles, but like the Blue Jays, I can't fucking do anything. And the Cardinals are like hit or miss. They're just frustrating because like you can make two good reads in a series, you make a third one. Oh, that is an inquisitive pose right there. Nice computer. But like the Cardinals will just like give you the complete opposite of like what you think the next day, and they just suck. Like I was wrong about them. I thought they'd wake up, and it looked like I was right for about 3 days, and then I don't know.
Sonny Gray is still awesome though. Sonny Gray is
Yeah,
rocking like a
like
sub one ERA, and
they've got bright spots, right? Like Wilson Contreras has been slumping a little bit, but like for the most part, he's been really good for them. But like Nolan Arenado's been all right too. Like no slug,
Big
but like he's
Hoss.
hit Big Hoss Lance Lynn. We love Big Hoss. Well, I love Big Hoss.
I can't stand him, dude.
I went to a White Sox game 2 years ago and just watched him throw 95 fastballs. Jorge Mateo hit a ball very far. I think Cedric Mullins hit one over Lou Bob's head, and he just like jogged to it as it landed 30 feet over his head. Dude, the White Sox are a joke. There's one more team that really, really pisses me off, and well, no, not really, actually. The Red Sox did for a week. Yeah, it's probably
You
the
bet them
last
pretty
one.
often. You bet
Yeah,
them
I
very
know.
frequently.
I do, but like I haven't been horrible at doing so until like this last week. Like, what are they doing now? Probably being really little league against the Twins. Yep, they are. They're losing 1-3.
Dude, the Twins though, the Twins are red
They
hot. They
they
won
turned it on. They're starting to
11
hit.
straight.
hmm
Dude, they're on fire.
Well, had I
And
realized it was 11 in a row, I wouldn't have gone to fade them because I don't like fading streaks like that. I didn't even. I knew they had been playing much better, but I mean the way the Red Sox lost yesterday, I thought this was a little bit of a short line on a pen day too. So, I mean, probably just no need to do it. But I don't think my read was bad. It was just probably not worth getting involved. But
yeah, dude,
yeah, I bet them too much for my sanity for sure.
that division's shaking out to be actually really fun. Now that the Twins are playing better, it's like the Royals and
The
Twins
Guardian,
and
yeah,
Guardians are all playing really good baseball.
I'm right about the Tigers though. They're starting to suck.
I think it's I
Yeah,
may have
what
been wrong
was
on that
yeah,
one.
what was their one good quality? Their bullpen, and they've blown like how many saves in this last week? Yet
I know
alone
it's all we
the entire
talked about was
season.
how good the bullpen's been at the back with Foley and granted Foley
Well, the
and Lang
problem
have still been
isn't
good, but
them; it's
it's getting
getting
to them.
there. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what game did I bet on? Oh, that
It was the Royals game.
stupid under. Yeah, it was 1-0, and Will Vest comes in and like hits three people and walks one. It's like,
And then they
what are
went to
you do?
Holton, and Holton did the same thing.
Yeah, it's like you guys are idiots. It's like
Yeah.
for them to be any good, they need to not give up any runs because they don't score enough to actually. They score in
No, the offense
bursts.
has been really disappointing for them.
Yeah, outside
And
of like Mark Canna
Riley
and
Green.
like
Yeah,
well, I
and
was gonna
Mark
say Mark
Canna.
Canna one at bat a game, and then Riley Green's been pretty solid. Like he had a slow start, but he's picking it
Yeah,
up a
he's
little
picking
bit.
it up.
Kerry Carpenter's been all right too, but like
Yeah.
they just don't. They need to hit home runs and extra base hits. Like they just can't manufacture runs, and like the Brewers, that's something the Brewers were like surprisingly good at. I didn't really realize it was they steal a lot of bases. Like that Cubs game yesterday, we were both on the Brewers, and yeah, I know. I'm sorry guys, but it wasn't you yesterday. But that eighth inning, they scored a run and like 2 out single, steal a base, hit a single, steal a base, hit a single. It's 3-1. You know what I mean? It's like that's so important, especially when you're not hitting well. Because like I'm not going out on a limb saying the Brewers don't hit that well. Like it's true. Like they do it in bunches. They're very similar to the Tigers in the fashion that like they need to hit home runs and extra base hits in order to score. But they have a knack at manufacturing runs when they do get, a single and turning it into a double. Or like in Jackson Cheerio's case, a triple. You know what I mean? It's like that's really important. And that's why the Brewers are, with the Cubs at the top of the NL Central.
Yeah, especially with like those young, like all those young guys can run, like Frelick, Terang,
Yeah, take
Torrio,
advantage of
Niemer,
it. Yeah,
all
exactly.
run. Even Yelich,
Mhm.
dude. When Yelich is healthy, he's still he's a
Yeah, he can
25
steal
base
30,
guy.
40 bases for sure. But
Yeah,
I mean, he gives you a little more of the power
yeah,
upside
he
when
gives you the
he
slug. Yeah,
is good to go. But like, I just take Joey Weimer out of that. That guy sucks. I'm sorry.
dude, he cannot hit. I love watching him defensively, and he's just
Mhm.
a freak athlete. but his swing is
It's
horrendous.
horrible.
And
Yeah, it's really
it's like
bad.
they
It's
have
like
no intention of fixing. I really thought they were going to fix it this offseason, and that's why he was going to be in triple. And it's the same swing. He's got that massive leg kick and all the hand noise, and
it's like Cody
he just
Bellinger.
gets
Cody Bellinger had the same thing, except his upside's way greater. But like he was struggling because of that long swing he had, and like I feel like last year he had a lot more success with a bit of a shorter swing. I don't think he like totally reconstructed it because he's like way more talented, but
yeah.
like you gotta fix that thing. Like that's not a big league swing. It's just
Dude, and
not.
anybody can see it. That's the thing that I don't get is like you don't even have to be like a baseball nerd to see it. Like
Yeah,
he gets
casuals can
blown.
tell.
Yeah, like he gets overmatched by 94 down the middle.
Hmm.
He just like can't
Yeah,
hit
most
it.
guys don't. Like when most
Yeah,
guys get overmatched, it's because they're looking for something else, or that guy has a deceivingly heavy fastball, or he works his other pitches off. But like Hayden Wesneski has been really good for the Cubs this
yeah,
season, but like he's not uber talented. You know what I mean? He's pretty basic at arsenal. Like nothing he throws is super super special. I'd say he's like imagine Kyle Hendricks like 5-10 years ago with better velo stuff. You know what I mean? Like he reminds me of a guy like that. He works count. Hey, he's not gonna. The Brewers strike out a lot, so that like he struck out 8 guys yesterday. It's probably an anomaly, but that's what I mean. It's like he doesn't have crazy deceptive stuff. I don't think, anyways. And it's like a lot of guys don't. A lot of guys today either throw 100 or they have to work corners and fool you. And there's a lot more of that. Like there's no in between.
yeah,
He just looks overmatched by a lot of very average starting pitching. Because I mean,
yeah.
you can put your thoughts in on this. I think the starting pitching across the board has been really poor for like
For the
most
Brewers?
teams. No, for any like all
Oh, for
across the
most
league.
teams.
No, the Brewers has been like
I
the
was gonna say
one
the Brewers have been
exception to
really
the
good.
rule. Yeah, like Freddie Peralta has been awesome. And like they're gonna get some regression in the starting pitching department because none of like 4 of the 5 guys they roll out
Joe
there.
Ross has been nuts.
Yeah, but like he's not good. Like
No.
Wade Miley got hurt, but like he's really not that good. Like I'm not going to say he's bad because he's not. But like they're going to get some regression from the starting pitching because like all 4 of their 5 guys are extremely overperforming to me anyways. Like maybe a couple, like maybe I'd say 2 of them are about what you'd expect. Like Joe Ross and maybe Colin Ray are probably 2 of those guys. Like Colin Ray's been
Oh
all right.
yeah,
Yeah, but like you're going to see some regression there because like they're overperforming for the most part. Like Joe Ross isn't good. I'm sorry, he's not. He's pitching like it, but like you know what I mean? Like that's not going to last forever. But like maybe it will. I don't know. Cuz like look at the rest of the league. I feel like starting pitching is just not good across the board right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have several examples of where it is good. But like even like George Kirby's another one of those Twitter heroes, right? Everyone loves George Kirby.
he's
Like we were
not been
talking
that good
about
this
that
year.
before. No, but like when he is good, he's awesome. He just leaves hittable pitches up for grabs.
Yeah,
But we were talking about like Twitter heroes and how we're so out on Mackenzie Gore because Twitter seems to love him. But yeah, like there's of course there's a few guys who are pitching awesome. Like Tarek Skubal's fucking incredible. Nick Lodolo looks awesome ever since coming back from. I mean,
mm-hmm.
he was just all hurt all
He
last
was.
year, but he looks
Yeah,
really good. Sonny Gray is another guy.
Zach Wheeler's been awesome so
Zach,
far.
that's another team where it's like maybe that's kind of the exception. But like a guy like Ranger Suarez is another example of what I was just talking about.
Dude,
How
he's
long do you
been
think he's going to be good?
ridiculous.
Because he's not that good. He's extremely overperforming.
He's very good at what his role is. He's pitching like a number 2 right now, and he's like a good number
He's filling
4.
shoes. Yeah, like talent wise, yeah, you're right. Like
Yeah,
he's like a Wednesday starter most of the time,
yeah.
and like he's being a good number 2. And
He's
like honestly, like he's been better than Wheeler had. Maybe his stuff's not, but
he's
like
been better than Nola. Nola's hasn't been that good up until
well,
his last 2
yeah.
starts.
Well, that's my whole point. Like you can go on each team and pick out a guy like who you'd expect to be like a really good number 1 or 2, and they're pitching like a fill-in guy. Zach Eflin on the Rays is like supposed to
Yep.
be their ace without Shane McClanahan, right? And he's been dog shit all season.
Gosman hasn't been good yet.
No,
Gosman's
Gosman
turned in like one
is
good
their
start, but
ace. Yeah, and like
yeah,
we talked about that before too. He's been a little better the last couple of starts, but like not drastically so to make his surface numbers look a lot better. Corbin Burns has been the only guy on the Orioles who's like I see like surface wise like turn out decent starts time and time again.
yeah.
They're
Bradish looked really good in his first
mhm.
start out, but
Yeah,
he's just
like
coming like he hasn't pitched yet this year, so it's hard to
yeah,
say.
and the Orioles are a tough example because like the starting pitching has never been one of their strong suits, but like they also don't need it to be. You
No,
know
they
what I
don't.
mean?
No.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That lineup's solid 1 through 9. Even the Yankees, like the Yankees have been like one of the best teams in baseball, and I feel like their starting pitching has not been fantastic. Again, same thing. They should have to be, but like has Nestor Cortez been all that good? Not really.
He's been
It's
solid. Stroman's
better.
been really good.
Stroman's been better. Clark Schmidt's been an overperformer for them. You know what I mean? My whole point is it's like the guys like that you expect to anchor that rotation, like a lot of them aren't there. It's these under talented guys that are like overperforming, and then you're just like in the back of your mind, when's this gonna blow up? You know
The
what I mean?
Phillies is the best example because it's the duo. It's the duo of Christopher
Mhm.
Sanchez and Ranger Suarez. And they both have just been
Yeah.
pumping out quality starts.
But like good for Christopher Sanchez because last year he was like an opener for them and like they would
Yeah.
stretch him out as long as they could until he kind of just started walking people and getting shelled or whatever, then they would take him out. But like he actually looks like a viable starting pitcher. You know what I mean? Cubs, same thing. Javier Assad, that was his role last year when a guy would get hurt, they threw Assad into the spot starter role. Now he's like their number 3. Like he looks pretty good for the most part. I think he pitched
Yeah.
uh, the day before, and it didn't go very well. But like a bad start here and there, he's been pretty solid. You know what I mean? But
He didn't throw that, but that was against the Mets his last time out. Because I think I bet the
oh,
Mets.
the pen blew that one, or they left him out
Yeah.
an inning too long? Yeah, that was the one that got away
Yeah.
from the Cubs. But like even the Dodgers, right? Like has Yamamoto been better? I don't pay attention to the
Yes.
Dodgers all that much. He's been
He's
much
been
better.
he's been elite since his first start.
Okay, yeah, 'cause he
And
was.
Glass now has been nails.
Yeah,
That's a team I'm actually going to give them the exception because the guys that were pitching really poorly in the beginning, like Gavin Stone, his first 2 or 3 times out was like horrible. And I know he's a rookie, but he's got a ton of talent. And his last 4
mhm,
starts have been like
really
lights
good.
out. Like he's been
Yeah.
awesome. Their
Mhm.
problem is the bullpen. Like that bullpen is
Yeah,
abysmal. And
I mean,
they get good old Walker Bueller back on Monday. He's
that's
making
good.
his first start,
Yeah, he's
dude.
good for
That
baseball.
rotation is
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's a
love it.
tale as old. That's a tale as old as time, though. Like we've all known that the bullpen is their issue. But
Yeah.
okay, so like we found a few teams with an exception there, but like across the board, would you agree with what I'm saying? I feel like your
Yeah,
top end
100%. I
pitchers
mean,
are
look at
struggling.
the Padres, like with
Dylan
like
Cease.
their best yeah, like Dylan Cease has been good, but like
Mhm.
Joe Musgrove has not been good. Like
No,
they're like the
like
guys
people
who
are
are
saying
pitching are
he's
struggling.
washed, which is wrong. That's just not true. But
I said that. I was one of those. I was
No, you're
people.
not the only one to say that. Like that's
I
I saw
know,
that
but
on Twitter too. Twitter, as you know, is really stupid because they put Mackenzie Gore on a pedestal and that guy's
they
ass.
do out
That
on
guy's
him.
ass.
He's like who's a good like he is like a renowned prospect, but he's been in the league for like 4 years. Every year, everyone's like, "This is the breakout year," but like he's been around for a handful of years.
Mackenzie
It's not like
Gore.
this is yeah,
Yeah, no.
and he has
I,
the
I,
same numbers like every year.
he gets really unfortunate, but like he puts together 4 innings. It's like you're a starting pitcher, dude. You have to be able to put together 6. Like you have to. Like what you know what I mean? Especially on that team. Like if he's on a team like the Tigers or something, sure that might work. Well, no, that wouldn't work because the Tigers' problem is the 6th through 8th inning. If they get to the 9th inning, they're fine. If they have to put somebody else in besides Fado or is it Fado, Foley,
Foley
and
and Lang and
and
Lang,
Lang? Those are and Chafin's okay. Like if he does his own inning, like if it's just
yeah,
Chafin for like the finish, what the mess somebody else made, fine. But like Like, I mean, look at the Cardinals. They have Sonny Gray, and then what?
It's Ryan Helsley, but before that, it's well, actually, JoJo Romero has been really
Yeah,
good, but
Helsley's
outside, but it's the
fucking
same thing.
awesome.
Helsley and
Yeah,
Romero have been like lights out, but everybody else in the bullpen is like not good, and they're
yeah,
they're
guys like
relying on like Matthew Liberatore.
Zach Thompson. Yeah, those guys stink.
Well, those guys were supposed to be starters, and then they've been really
And
bad
it
in the
doesn't
rotation,
work.
so they
That's
moved
my
into the
whole point.
bullpen.
That's my whole point. It's like I feel like starting pitching across the board is just not good. Outside of a few people, of course, because there's always
Yeah,
going to be somebody who's good. But like the Mariners and the Dodgers might be the Phillies might be the three best exceptions that we could think of because I think it's cooled off a little bit, like we both said it would with the Mariners, but like their starting pitching has been spectacular.
yeah,
But
which is good
outside,
because Luis Castillo was really bad his first 2 or 3 times out, and
looks
he's
much better.
just yes, he
Mhm.
looks like Luis Castillo again.
Yeah, and people are saying he's washed too. I think
No,
I
he's
no, he's not.
you've seen
I
that?
think yeah, I've seen people talk about that. You,
That's a whole
Mister Twitter, follow everybody, dude. You need to go through and clean up some of the junk we see on that feed because you follow some dum dums on there, and it's not a bad thing because like, hey, they're active accounts and like they talk content, which is good. But sometimes I don't want to see Luis Castillo's washed after
I
three
have not
starts. It's
seen
like,
that.
what do you mean? Yes, no, he's not washed. Yes, he's good. What are you talking about?
He is not washed. I
No,
I
not
can
at
get on
all.
the. I'm gonna stay on the Joe Musgrove train.
Okay, well that one makes a little more sense. He's a little older and like he hasn't been
That's what
good
I
in a
mean.
couple
Like
seasons.
Luis
Yeah,
Castillo isn't that old. I don't know how old he is, but he's not that old.
no, but he's been bad for like a month. Like he
Not
struggled.
even. He literally, literally his
Well, no,
first.
I mean, I'm talking last year too. Like he had a couple.
Oh
Like
well,
I
yeah,
think he had a rough patch last year too. But like, dude, like, he's been one of the
dude, he's
best
awesome.
pitchers in the league for the last 5 seasons. What are you talking about? Washed? Oh, his ERA is 6. Yeah, he's thrown 15 innings. What do you mean? It'd be like calling Blake Snell washed after like
Yeah,
one bad month. The guy wins the Cy Young award. I'm still grumpy, but like never said he
he
was
still won it.
washed. I mean, yeah, I never said he was washed. I just said he walks too many people for my liking. It's about what you say and how you say it, not
Did you
necessarily the intention behind it.
did you see the stipulations of the Marlins Luis Arias trade?
I saw he got traded, or did I? Something
It's
said like
official.
it
He got
was it was
traded.
official. Okay, I
Yeah.
saw it was for like 3 prospects and another guy, but I didn't see any like
They
stipulations of a
they're
contract.
paying his entire contract except for the league minimum. The Marlins are. And so the Padres basically are getting him for the league. He's playing for the Padres for the
How
entire
did
season.
they? How did they manage that? Is it just because the prospect pool was so deep? Like they gave him so much for a second baseman who's going to hit 320 this year, but hit
Slug
3 home
320.
runs? Yeah, like what?
No, like so they gave them three. I don't know a ton about the three guys they gave up, because they gave up the bulk of their really good prospects to the White Sox in the Cease trade, and so they gave
Yeah,
them like the after that trade they for Arias they basically gave up their number 4, 9, and like 15 prospects. I don't really know anything about any of them, and it seems like a lot of people don't know a whole ton except for like the real prospect junkies because they were
yeah, not
further
me.
down before the Cease trade.
I'm the last person
Yeah,
to
which like
ask.
I know a decent amount of the prospects from team to team, but like those are three guys that I haven't really heard anything about. And so for them to only pay the league minimum for 8 months of Luis Arias is like absurd. Like the Marlins, like just they must have just not cared. Like they're just like
Yeah. Well,
whatever you
here's
want, we'll make it happen.
here's a question. How many of those prospects are like from the Yankees? Like, because what did
That's a
they
good
do?
question too.
Yeah, because like I know the Soto trade probably replenished a lot of the farm they had lost. I mean, from the
Yeah,
other various very poor financial decisions they've made in the last couple of seasons. But I mean, Soto is worth a haul for sure. I mean, the
yeah.
Nats probably it's like transitive property. Like you ever get lost in the snakes of like doing college basketball? Well, like, oh, Wisconsin beat Virginia beat North Carolina, or like get lost in the snake
Yeah,
because
run
it's
it
like,
all the way
oh
through until like
yeah,
Wisconsin's better than UConn.
or yeah, like actually Stetson's actually the best team in the country, like that. But you could probably do the same type of thing with their prospect pool because, like, I mean,
Yeah,
the Nats probably got a shit ton of assets from the Padres, and then I'm assuming they got
but
some back with the Astros with the Hater trade.
yeah,
Like they made a mess. Like following that would
yeah.
be impossible. But
And I know
I'm
some of the
just
guys they gave up that came from the Yankees went to the White Sox. Like I think those were like the guys that came
yeah, it
over
was
the
like a
Soto trade went for the
yeah.
C's.
So like
Um,
feel
but
like
yeah,
it's probably a mess there, but like I don't know if their farm is depleted as you'd think, just because they've
no,
moved a
probably
lot
not.
of those big assets that they had recently tried to, they acquired to go on a run. But
Yeah,
my question about all of it is why? What does Arias do to help their team? You know
he
what I
doesn't even
mean?
have like a spot on the team. Like Jake Cronenworth has been solid, but he's like the infield utility man. Like where like is he
Yeah,
the
like he
DH
plays
Luis
anywhere if
Arias?
somebody's out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I just don't understand. You already moved Tatis to the outfield. Hassan Kim's doing all right. Machado's your third base anchor. He's not going anywhere. It's like, I mean, who they have playing shortstop, I guess. Xander
Um,
Bogarts.
Bogarts and Kim,
Yeah, they
and
like
then whoever,
interchange.
yeah,
Whoever's like
whoever
out
isn't
that day,
playing,
they'll
playing
backfill
second.
second base. Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe you just put a constant in at second base, but like Arias can't do anything else besides play second base, or
no, he's like
he's not
he's
tall
like an
enough to play
average
first
defender.
base.
Well, he's just an average defender at second base. Like
Well,
he's not a guy that you
it's
can move.
it's not average because of like his ability. I think it's average because of like his frame. Like he's
That
short,
could be.
he's
I
chubby,
I actually
and
think he is better defensively than like the underlying numbers say he is. Like the underlying numbers say he's like a bad defensive second baseman. I think
I
you're right. I think he's just like
I
not.
think
I
he's
think he's
just
average.
limited athletically. Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. He's not like thin like Dustin Pedroia, but like it was Dustin Pedroia like a fantastic second baseman. I feel like we just see the same couple of clips from Dustin Pedroia. Like he's all heart. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I'm not like a Red Sox aficionado. But like I just don't understand like what getting him does to benefit your team.
It's
Really?
literally a DH unless you are committing to Jake Cronenworth playing like first base until the bat cools off. But I don't know. Like I just like don't get it.
Yeah, I don't
It's
either.
basically they're just gonna cycle Cronenworth, Kim, Xander, and Arias between first, second, short, and DH, and it's just gonna be like a revolving door. But Arias can only play second, so
Yeah,
it's
he's not athletic enough to
like
play
a
shortstop. He's not
like a
tall enough
revolving
to
door with a
play first
traffic
base.
cone in it.
Yeah, it's literally a game of musical chairs, except Arias is the chair at second base. Yeah, like it makes no sense. Like, I mean, would they benefit from having that guy in their lineup? Of course they would, but like
Yeah,
they don't have 10. It's not like high school where you have 10 people in your lineup.
yeah, you don't get the EH.
Yeah, you don't get the extra hitter. Like if that was the case, sure, you just have him play second, and you like just let Cronenworth hit or something. Then you find some other bum to play first base. But like just logistically, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But
No, I didn't think so either. And I mean, they somehow managed to just fleece them. And even if it just becomes like a backfill thing, like it doesn't matter. Like they're paying in the league minimum.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, like the Marlins are probably just like whatever, it's over, just blow it
It's a
up.
fine dude. That was really fast for the. I mean, we're 30 games in. Like officially, we're like 32 games in, and they're
Yeah,
5 years ago.
they're really bad.
Once Luzardo is healthy again, I think he'll be the
He's
next to
gone.
go.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is they don't have a ton of their guys in their lineup that are hot commodities. Like Arias is probably the only one. Like Dela Cruz you might be able to do something with him, but like I
Yeah,
think there's a lot of upside with some of those guys. Like Jazz Chisholm,
like
if you
Jazz.
could get him a good hitting coach, like to work out, not him, like work out his like just blatant weaknesses in his game, he'd be a
The
really
most
good player.
overrated player in baseball.
Yeah, but it's because he's only tapping into like half of the game. You know what I mean? Like if you
Oh well,
can't even
yeah.
play against a left-handed pitcher, like Like it's not like, oh yeah, this guy's got splits where he only hits like 210 against lefties. It's not like that. It's like he hits 110 against lefties or something. You know what I mean? It's like that's like a glaring weakness, and that takes a long time to figure out too. And like the longer he keeps ignoring the problem, the harder it is going to be to address too, right?
Like, is
So I
somebody
feel
really gonna want Jake Berger?
no, that's what I mean. Like there's a
And then you
couple
got
of
like Tim
guys.
Anderson. It's like,
Well, I mean, I feel like with Tim Anderson, I think he's a little bit of a head case. And I think a lot of his stuff is like mental, like, just his approach to the game or
yeah,
whatever. And I mean, the defense, I mean, you could just move him to second base. Like
they
that'd be an
should.
easy,
He's not
that'd be
very.
an easy, yeah, that'd be an easy solution. Cause like, I mean, Tim Anderson was really good a couple of years ago with the Sox. He won a batting
Yeah.
title and he's always been like the worst graded shortstop in the league, I would assume.
Yeah, he's never been good defensively. Like he's never had a
No,
good defensive
no,
ERA.
but like that's an easy fix. Like, where do you put your worst defenders? Second base and left field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an easy fix, but like, I
They
mean,
might now with Arias gone. I mean, they were just handcuffed because like you literally can't put Arias anywhere else.
yeah, but like the thing with the Marlins that's so strange to me is like they literally had a window, like the last couple of seasons, to be able to actually make the playoffs, and they did it with like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know what I mean? Like last year they
Yeah.
had a pretty big trade deadline. Trading Garrett Cooper, and then getting Jake Berger and Tim Anderson in that trade with the White Sox. And I'm sure they got a few other guys too, but then like they didn't go all the way in. Like you have like Joey Wendell and whoever the fuck else in their lineup hitting. It's like those guys, like those are blatant holes. Like why wouldn't you have tried to, maybe get a guy that can actually hit the ball out of the infield, like Nick Fuentes or Nick Fortes. That's his name, Nick Fortes.
Yeah,
Like
Nick
a guy
Fortes.
like him, like guy hits 2 home runs a year, and he's playing 150 games a year, hitting 220. It's like that's a weakness in your lineup, and like you get all these pieces, but like you just traded like apples for apples. Like it's the same thing. Like, did you really have to trade Garrett Cooper for whoever they got? You know what I mean?
Probably
Like,
not.
did they really
Yeah.
get any better? Like, that's what I mean. Like, a trade is supposed to complement each other. Two teams trade a different asset for one another, so each team gets better in one area and suffers a little bit in the other area. It's compromise, right? It's like, yes, we don't really want to trade this guy because, like, the big trades. I'm not talking about the little trades like, oh, we traded Joey Buttfuck for cash considerations, right? Not like that, but I'm talking like big trades, right? You trade somebody, you're giving up something to make the other team better so you can manageably make up that what you're losing with other pieces, and then you fix something that you need assistance on. That's the whole purpose of a trade, right? Like why would you trade to just, oh, we want this
Just
guy.
move pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want that guy, you can have this guy. Okay, does it make a difference? No. Like what's the point of that? You might as well just unless like Garrett Cooper's like a shitty teammate or something. Like what the hell do you want? Like why would you trade him? It makes no sense. That's another story though, because like the Cubs gave up on him really early, which is a little strange. But you know what I mean? It's just like I don't understand what Marlins front office was doing the last 2-3
No.
seasons because like I feel like they had a legitimate window,
Yeah.
like not to win, like to win the whole thing, but like they had a chance to be like pretty competitive in the playoffs. I think just the way like their starting pitching was, and like that bullpen was really good last year. Buck was good in the bullpen for the most part, and who's the lefty? He's the lefty guy they have, Tanner
In the
Scott.
bullpen. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Tanner Scott's
Tanner,
he's still solid. He's like
yeah,
their
but like
one nice piece.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but last year and the year before, they were pretty good. Like, I thought they had like a chance to try, but like they just reshuffled pieces around. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't understand what their management was doing. Like, if you weren't gonna really try, why did you even bother? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess that's a different story for a different day.
It's very interesting. And now they get to match off with the A's, and the A's are beating their ass, and I'm getting a real kick out of it. The old lady.
Yeah, I know. Jake's Blue Jays are up 4-0. Jake's gonna
Oh, I
lose
know. Jake
everybody.
Irvin melted down in the
Yeah,
first inning.
Jake Sawinski's gonna lose every bet he makes today.
Was I right or was I right though? Like one of like these bets are not going to be close for me. I just don't know what direction.
No, Nats might not score. I just hope
No,
it's 7-0.
it might be.
Whatever.
So
It had to come to an end. I haven't paid the bookie in a month, so I was like, it's gonna blow up eventually. You can't be that good for that long. Like I've been like just steady week over week. Nothing over
I can
10
get there.
units a week, but like positive every week. It's been like no less than 5, no more than 9. This last 4 or 5 weeks, it's been really cool.
Solid.
Now
Yeah, I
I have
think
a
my day is
question. Oh,
coming
go ahead.
too.
Yeah,
No,
I have
I'm
a
done. That's
yeah. I have a question for you though. What have your thoughts been on these Stanley Cup playoffs? Because I think this has been one of the worst first rounds I remember.
it's been really like obviously I'm a very big Rangers fan and I have noted in the past that like I don't extend out in hockey a whole ton outside of watching like I watch 90% of the Rangers games from day 1 until the
Mm-hmm.
season's over and I don't really go out of my way to watch a lot of other hockey, but just like betting it and observing scores like none of the games have really been super competitive, if that makes sense. Like it feels like the games are pretty lopsided one way or the other in a lot of them, outside of like a couple of the Bruins games have been 1 goal games. And I know the Canucks series has been like close games, but the
Well,
games are kind of ugly.
I have a thought on that one, but continue.
Um, but like the Ranger series against the Caps, like boring. Like, but that was to be
Oh,
expected. So
yeah, not
I'm really
yeah.
excited for Rangers Hurricanes.
Canes.
I think that's going to be I think it's gonna be a fantastic series. I'm really
Mm.
nervous about it as a Rangers
You
fan,
should
but
be.
dude,
Hurricanes is a real deal.
they
They're
look
good.
fucking good. And the Avs Jets series has just been like the wild card of the like. It's just like you're
The
going in and
Jets
you're
are
like it's
frauds.
Hellebuyck and dude,
The Jets are frauds. That team's a
I can get
fraud.
behind that. I just
Yeah,
like
that team's a fraud.
and the Lightning Panther series has been really weird. I haven't really followed that one that
Panthers
close
are
to
just
be
way
honest,
better.
but
They're just flat out better. Panthers were
yeah.
incredible.
Um,
The Lightning are done. Their windows closing. Like they
and
haven't been
then
bad in 20 years. It's coming to an end.
yeah, and then the one really good series actually has been, in
Vegas,
my opinion,
Dallas.
Stars. Yeah, it's
You
been
know,
really
like
good.
that's been the best. That I was gonna say, like, the obvious way to do it is to look at like who's still playing.
Yeah.
Vegas and Dallas, and then Toronto and Boston. You know, the Toronto Boston one was kind of weird too because like I think the Bruins just don't know how to close out series because they have lost like 6 straight elimination games. Vegas and Dallas. Dallas is the best team in the West. I'm not sure if they're going to win tomorrow, but like Dallas is flat out the best team in the West. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas just I don't know what it is about that team. They just don't give up. They have the offensive talent, like, but Dallas is better in every area. I don't. They just know how to win. They really do, and like it's almost like Vegas is Dallas's kryptonite because like I don't think Dallas has beaten them since Game 4 of that series last year in the conference semis or in the conference finals. I don't think they have won until Game 3. I think they lost like 6 games in a row to Vegas. Like they did not win one against Vegas in the regular season either, and they played 3 times. I think it's just their kryptonite because Dallas is better in every single area, except maybe like the top line, the top line
Yeah.
forwards. They're better, and maybe the top line of D, like with Petrangelo's line. They're better in every area, goalie especially. And I mean, the coaching is probably about as close as it gets, like between DeBoer and Pete DeBoer and Bruce Cassidy. Dallas is flat out better. I don't get it. Like, and that series has been so weird in the fact that the road team has won the first 5 games of the series, or the first 4 games of the series. It
Yeah.
like makes yeah, it was the first 5. No, wait,
I
I'm
know it was
sorry.
definitely
No, first
I know
four,
it was,
first 4.
yeah, I was gonna say I know it was the first 3. I can't remember what happened in game 4,
Yeah,
but
it was 2-2. Vegas won the first 2, Dallas won the second
yeah.
2, and it's like baseball's 2-3-2, and then basketball and hockey are 2-2-1-1-1. So that and like every game's been close. I don't think there's
Every
been
game has
like a
been really close.
Yeah, like, I mean, two goals is close,
Yeah, I
and
mean, like a 2-0 game is a close game.
yeah, and especially because that game was 0-0 until 10 minutes in the third. So
Yeah,
that series has been awesome. Like I've made a point to watch like as much as I can of each of those Vegas Stars games because they've all been really good.
yeah,
Bruins Leafs have been good too. I mean, I think that one kind of started out ugly and got better as the series has gone on, but um, that Vancouver Nashville series,
dude.
it's so deceivingly close. It's finally over. Vancouver fucking stinks. Nashville fucking stinks. And they don't stink. They're just like stinky to watch. Like I bet the Bruins in game 6 against the Leafs and that ended I had hit 7 in a row in hockey. I was really finding my stride and I watched the same game 2 nights in a row. It was literally the same thing except the Canucks won. Like all game. They had 3 shots on goal at the end of the first period. It's like I understand like when you're playing playoff hockey and you're getting to crunch time, you don't want to make mistakes. I get that. And I know on offense, the casual hockey fan will say, "Yo, just shoot the puck." Well, that doesn't work because you can shoot the puck 50 times at the middle of the net and it's just going to hit the goalie. So like I understand you have to work through the offense and try to find a good shot. But the Bruins especially because Vancouver woke up a little bit and the Bruins really didn't. At some point, you just shooting the puck and hoping the goalie doesn't stop it is a start. Like the Bruins were asleep in Game 6. They were asleep at the wheel. Like they might as well have not gotten on the plane. Like it was so like just passing and passing, waiting for a perfect shot. It's like just shoot it. It might go in. You know what I mean? It's like you have to start somewhere, and it's like both sides have a little bit of validity to it because it's like, well, okay, you could shoot 40 times, and if none of them are high danger, you're not going to score, right? But if you shoot 0 times, you're not going to score either. Like at some
Yeah,
point, you just have to fling it at the goalie, and like, okay, we're in the zone, we can do something here. They didn't. They weren't. I don't think they were on like 2 power plays. They got 1 shot on them. Power play look awful, both teams. I'm kind of lumping them together. I'm not as frustrated at Vancouver, obviously. Well, 1, because they won, and 2, the second period they looked better. Like immediately, that Rick Tocchet was like, you guys sucked that period. Let's go. I don't know what Jim Montgomery said to the Bruins, but like period 2 and 10 minutes in was just as bad as period 1. It's like you guys, like you have not won a playoff game, an elimination game that you were leading in 2 years. Like figure it out. Like you're playing a cursed franchise. Like how can you not win? You know what I mean? So it's literally a battle of who's the new choke artist tonight. Like, are the Leafs going to undo 70 years of history and finally win a playoff series more than 1 game? Or are the Bruins going to be like the new 3-1 lead chokers? Like, I don't know. Very excited. I like this over tonight, though. I like this over tonight. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to run it back. I'm not going to take a side. But like then again, it's like Game 7 unders are a thing. Like that's like a thing. Like, it's tight buttholes. No one makes a mistake. Like they're like, we'll wait for another chance. Like this one could be 5-2, or it could be 1-0 in the 4th overtime. Like I don't know. And I'm a little scared to do it because the Bruins looked like it was Game 7 last game. I didn't watch all of Game 5. I bet the Leafs Game 5, but I don't know if they look particularly great Game 5 either. So it's like I'm kind of in a pickle, and like I'm at the point in hockey where like I've had an awesome season. Like I'm up 25 units. I've still got some pending on futures and whatnot. Like Heiskanen is not winning the Norris, and Jonathan Huberdeau is certainly not winning the Hart. But Bobrovsky's still alive, and he should. He fucking should. Dude, Hellebuck was ass. How could you not, though, dude? He gave up 30 goals in 5 games. He was horrible.
He's given up over 3 every single game, right?
He was horrible. And yeah, Bob's GAA was like 3, but he had one game where they scored 5. Bob was awesome. And it's not even just he had 50 saves on 47 shots. Did you see some of the saves he was making?
Yeah, I saw
He was
some
doing
clips after game
cartwheels, jumping through flaming
3, I think.
hoops.
Yeah.
Make a save on the left side of the crease. Oh no, he passes across. I gotta jump. And then he jumps. This is so awesome. That's my fucking Vesna. Give me it. Come on. That's my guy, Big Game Bob. I know, like you're only supposed to consider the regular season, but Hellebuck was so
Dude,
ass.
he's awful.
He was horrible. And it's like,
I know the Avs offense is like
yeah, but we're
fantastic.
playing the Avalanche. Well, no, that's not fair. You said, he was their rock all season, and then when it's toughest, he disappears. Dude, they pulled him. They pulled him in the last game they played. He was terrible. He was horrible. You gotta like at least think about it. Like, I mean, I guess my only chance is they don't have any journalistic integrity and they like did not watch anything about the playoffs. That's like my only hope because like if they did that, if they just ignored the playoffs, Bob's cooked. But if they didn't, the thing is the GMs vote on the Vesna, so they'll be honest about it. Yeah, that's the problem.
It's a shame. It's not like the Gold Gloves in MLB where it's just like idiots from all around the U.S. just voting random people.
Yeah. Well, see, Justin Steele would have won the Cy Young if it was the GMs. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But either way, it was a great bet. I mean, I got him at 40-1. Yeah, he's a finalist. And I'm like, oh, he's the first finalist. It's like, well, they do it alphabetically. But he was the first.
I think tonight is going to be a really good game.
Guys, playoff hockey is the best. Even if you don't even have to like bet on it. Like if today and tomorrow don't go so well for me, I'm probably going to call her quits on betting too frequently on hockey just because I'm up 25 units this season. I was horrible last year. I don't want to like give 10 units back for no reason. If I'm not betting well, I'm probably going to tap out, but there's no reason to not watch it. It is literally the best playoff atmosphere. Not one sport better.
There's not a question about it.
Dude, the trophy's 30 fucking pounds. That's so cool.
It's also the best trophy in sports. It's also the best trophy.
By far. Anyone who says anything otherwise is like brain dead. Like it is every guy who's ever won that trophy, his name is on it. That is cool. Oh, it's a Super Bowl trophy. Dude, it's a fucking football.
No, the Super Bowl trophy is not. The only one that I think is close. I like the MLB trophy. The MLB trophy.
Yeah, with all the flags. That one's cool. But like playoff baseball is second best. It's hockey.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's hockey. Even the NFL playoffs don't even do it. Like the Super Bowls, the championship games in the Super Bowl are good, but like the divisional round and the wild card, they're usually not good games. But yeah, watch hockey. Watch hockey.
It's coming. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the Rangers series. I'm terrified. The Caps always have, or not the Caps. The Canes always have our number.
The Canes are the most. I don't know if the Canes are the best team in the East, but they're probably the most complete team. Like I think they have everything. They're like the Stars, but like you can watch a Stars game and be like, "Wow, this team is way better." I don't think you can say that with the Canes, but like I think they have all the pieces they need. Like, what would you say the Rangers are lacking? Like depth and maybe like.
I would say honestly, I still think it's defense. Like to me, like
okay,
yeah, that's is like good, but it's not like we're not overly physical, and that's why I like that Rempe is up now and he's doing his thing because like now I think they're more physical. But like prior to that, it's like Trouba, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Maybe defense, but like Shesterkin's been playing well sometimes, and when you have that physicality, like sometimes it's easy to ignore the defensive depth. But like the Canes have them on that for sure. Like Brent Burns obviously is like still one of the best defensemen in the league. But that series is going to be really bipolar. Like I feel like the games in New York might be fun to watch, and then the ones in South Carolina and the ones in Carolina are going to be like 3-1, 2-1, kind of ugly. I think. And that place, I don't know if there's an arena minus Vegas in all of pro hockey that has better home environment, home advantage than the Hurricanes. Like I really don't think there is one.
Dude, Vegas is nuts. I went to a Knights game. They were just playing the
Mm,
Wild on like a Wednesday night when I was there in February, and that place is, first of all, it's like a circus, but it's
yeah.
crazy. Like people love the Knights,
Hmm.
which is weird
Yeah.
because like I don't think the feeling is the same for the Raiders, like obviously because they moved from
No.
Oakland. And I don't
It's,
think it'll be the same for the A's, but it's like that's like their team. That's like the Vegas team. That is like the only Vegas born team,
mhm.
and they love them there.
Well,
It's
and it helps
crazy,
when they're good too, right?
and they
And
were
like
good
they've
right off the bat.
never
Like,
been bad, but that's
yeah,
why the NHL does the expansion because it gets the fan base immediately invested. Like the Kraken were exciting to start too. They weren't as good
or
at the first year, but like then they made the playoffs that second year. They beat like the defending Cup champs. You know what I mean? So it's like hockey's got it figured out. They just some markets just aren't as willing to get into it. Like Wisconsin's probably you'd think it'd be a lot different just because of like the proximity to Canada or whatever, but like for the most part, hockey isn't really huge here. Would you say that?
no,
Like,
but to be honest, I
pro
think it's
hockey.
because there isn't. I think it's because there isn't a pro team. I
If there was one, yeah, it would be
I
huge
think that
for
yeah,
sure.
if there was a team in Milwaukee, like dude, it would be nuts. I would love
Yeah,
that. That would
yeah. Everyone here likes the Blackhawks, the Wild, or the Red Wings, depending on where you are
yeah,
in the state. Like
yeah.
I'd say it's mostly Wild, and then like the people around us probably like the Blackhawks. Or like if you're by the UP, like where I grew up, it's probably Red Wings. But otherwise, I mean, people probably just aren't very passionate about it because there is no team. But
Because there is no team here. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
they
they love
should.
Badger hockey. Like you see people all over
Oh
the state
yeah,
that like
yeah.
will
Badger
watch every
hockey's
single
big.
Badger hockey game. So like I just imagine it being like that kind of environment if there was a pro
Yeah,
hockey team here.
yeah, for sure.
I'll be waiting for it. I'll be waiting for
I think we're gonna be waiting a long time.
it. Probably never happened.
No, probably not. But Phoenix is moving. Salt Lake
Phoenix is
City.
moving. That's weird to me. I don't really get that. I think it's weird that it's not like an expansion. Like I just like don't get it.
They're just
Like
reload. They couldn't figure out the leasing with the city for a new stadium.
I don't like it. I don't like
No, well,
change.
I mean, they did pick a good market to get into a predominantly white sport.
It's true. A lot of Mormons out there.
Yeah, that's my point. God damn it.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I've been pretty vocal about me not liking the Oakland move for the A's, and I don't know. I think it's
Well,
just because like it's established. I just am not a fan.
yeah, you don't like the change, but like,
Yeah.
I don't really feel bad for Oakland fans for the most part because like they're kind of like the ones that go are passionate, but like, are you that passionate? Like, no one in California is that passionate about sports. And it's like
That's true.
it's a business decision too. Like the state taxes there are absurd. It's like a legitimate decision to move them. I mean, the way John Fisher's doing it isn't cool. But like
Yeah.
the Raiders moved. How many teams have moved from there? Golden State moved. I mean, they were more in no, they were in Oakland. Oakland and San Francisco are like across the bay, so they moved to San Francisco. You know what I mean? Like, are they that good of fans? It's like everybody's leaving. Like the first one, it's like, oh, it's about me, and then the second one, it's like, no, it's about you. So it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really know. Like, why are you all passionate when they're finally leaving? Like, why weren't you just passionate the whole time? I don't know. I'm not saying like one way or the other. I think it's a fair question.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I feel that way about like the Raiders though. Like Raiders fans are nuts.
Oh yeah, the Raiders fans are, and like but see, like the Raiders, I feel like are a little different because they've always moved. Like them and the Rams have moved like all over the
That's
place.
true. Yeah.
Like they've done
True.
multiple moves. Like the Raiders, I don't even know where they started, if they started in Oakland or not. But then they were in Oakland, they were in Los Angeles, and then now they're in Vegas. So like I feel like with the Raiders, they're kind of used to the moving. Maybe with the other two teams, like you said, it's kind of like a tradition thing. But like I don't know, like there's a reason why they move. They don't just do it because like oh the water here sucks. That's not why they do it. They do it for a tangible reason. But I don't know.
I'll be ever waiting the Wisconsin hockey team and the MLB expansion. They talk about that every year, and I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's feasible to do it in
MLB?
MLB. It's
No.
too hard with farm systems. I just do not think you can do it. I don't think there's any good way to do it
Well, and then it's
because you
like
have to field 6 teams, 7 teams.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be impossible because I mean, there's a lot of like minor league baseball's big in the South
Yeah,
and in the Southwest. So I mean making a new team, I probably maybe it would probably be a logistical nightmare, but I don't think it would be
that's
like
what.
impossible. But
No, I don't think
now
so either. But I just don't like. I think it's a lot further than people like. Every year, it's like the MLB expansion is coming. Here are some like, what city would you want to see? Like Nashville, like
Nashville's an
team.
obvious one, but then they've got
Yeah,
Nashville has a very established minor league team.
yeah. There's
Um,
Nashville. They've been talking about Raleigh, Salt Lake, and
Carolina would be big. Utah would be big. I think Utah is going to be a market that other
Portland. Maybe
teams
I want
want
to say is one of them.
up there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
those
I
are
mean,
the couple that they're looking at.
yeah, I think it's feasible, but like I think the problem with baseball is right now it's finally perfectly balanced, right? Like you have three divisions in each league.
That's
There's five
true.
teams each. It's like I
Yeah.
feel like you would. I
Are you
feel
gonna have
like
one singular team?
or yeah, or two, right? I think like the long
Yeah,
term plan would be to add six. Like you wouldn't do it right away, but like maybe over the next 20, 30 years, you would plan to add six. There's definitely demand for it too. Like that's one thing billionaires love to do is own a sports team because they don't
true.
go down in value. You know what I mean? Sports are huge. Like who's bought a sports team that's went down in value? Like from when they bought it.
I have no
They,
idea.
they don't depreciate. They
Yeah.
just go up. You know what I mean? TV deals expand, the players get better, the endorsements bring fans and money and all that stuff. Like they just don't go down in value. I mean, like look at Dan Snyder for the Redskins and the Commanders. He bought the team 20 years ago and practically ran the damn organization into the ground because he was a horrible owner, like PR wise, and he still like made $5 billion on the sell of the team. You know what I mean? It's like you could do everything wrong and it will go up in value. It's like a cop
Yeah,
out.
that's true.
It's like
Yeah,
it's an easy way to do it, but I don't
it's
know.
true.
It would be cool if baseball expanded to like Nashville would be a cool one, especially in the South because I feel like the South is a little bit underappreciated with the pro teams just because for the most part
Yes.
it's Florida and then you have
Mhm.
Atlanta. You have
But like the
four in
Trop is a
Atlanta.
dump, dude. The Trop is
Oh,
a
oh yeah,
dump. Like
that's gonna change though. I mean, once they get a new stadium, I feel
yeah,
like the attendance will get a lot better there. But
but yeah, the South is the
yeah,
Rays,
it's pretty much it.
Atlanta.
And then you have the Predators in Nashville, and then the Grizzlies
Yeah,
in Memphis. But like, it's a
yep.
pretty untapped market. But see, another thing with baseball, like you don't even have to consider American cities. You have Toronto. You could just do the same cities that have hockey teams. That would be a
Exist.
start.
Yeah,
Like probably not like Edmonton or Calgary or Winnipeg and Alberta and Manitoba, but like Vancouver is you could do something like New York there. Like you have two professional teams in the city. Vancouver and Seattle are practically connected across the border. You have Toronto. You already had a team in Montreal. It's possible. I mean, you could do Canada too. And
Yeah.
there's 6 teams right there you could do. Hockey has 7 Canadian teams. Like MLB has 1. There's your 6. And like logistically it could work too. Like you could have national, like there you go. Vancouver has 1. Edmonton, Calgary has 1. Winnipeg, Ottawa, Toronto already has 1. Montreal. Or
I'm
you
into
could
it.
just, yeah, it's possible. I just think like
That would be cool.
they'd have to
Just
commit to
expanding
like
Canada. You
doing
would
it
have to
long
commit
term.
to, yeah.
Because yeah, that wouldn't work if you were just like, oh, we're making 6 new teams this year. I don't think that would work at the
No.
size it's at. So
Give us three Canadian teams, 3 Southern teams for the expansion.
there you go. Vancouver,
So I like it.
Montreal, Ottawa, and then like Nashville,
Salt Lake, and
Raleigh, and Salt Lake. Yeah, it'd be cool.
I'm into it. You got anything else? Any last ditch?
Nope. I think we ran a little long today, but we shot the shit.
We
That's
did.
for sure.
The Nats suck is my closing thought.
Yep, I'm losing all my
Horrible,
bets today.
horrible
Yeah.
wager. Hopefully the Pirates come through, but I don't think they have a hit off of Austin Gomber yet, so that's very encouraging.
Decent.
Got 2 hits through 4 on Austin Gomber. So
Yeah, I might
Pirates
take
gonna pirate.
tomorrow.
Nat's gonna nat.
I might take tomorrow off. Just ensure some profitability.
I'm getting it back. I'll be down. I'm like even on the week right now. So like Sunday, like if I'm down 3 units on the week, taking a stab at trying to get back into the green on Sunday, it is what it is. I had a good week last week, so. Well, that's our show, folks. Be sure to find us on Twitter at Overdue Sports, overduesports.com. Be sure to like and subscribe. And what did I say wrong again? Last time you told me I said
No. I got a stupid Okay, before we wrap up the show, I have a question for the audience and for you, Will. One of my acquaintances / friends in our group chat is a very passionate but overzealous Brewers fan. And he made an observation from the game yesterday that some lady was holding a sign that says, "Oh, Craig Counsell likes to put ketchup on his hot dogs." And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, right? He's like, "What do you mean? It's funny." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's funny, but it would be like funny if he was from Chicago and went to Milwaukee. Because wouldn't the Illinois person say, you put ketchup on your hot dog like you're uncultured swine? Like, do I have that wrong? Like, the joke doesn't make logistical sense."
I don't think so, no. Because
Yeah.
he's from Wisconsin too. Like he's
from Whitefish Bay in Milwaukee. Yeah. So like
And then
it'd be like, if anything, he'd be like, yeah, Wisconsin people would think that mustard is gross and be like, "Oh, you put mustard on your hot dog. Mustard and relish." It's like, it doesn't even make sense. But then, like yesterday, I called him Ketchup Craig, and he liked that. And I saw the text message come through again. Oh my god! We gotta go.
That's a wrap. Go find us. Twitter, Overdue Sports, overduesports.com. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for all the other stuff, and we're out of here.